Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for game number 2. Unicorns of Love vs DRX. People are hyped up for some Unicorns of Love upsets, but I'm not a believer because I think pound for pound they are just too weak, you know. So maybe they can find some creative draft where they find like this key pick that is going to disrupt DRX's composition, and the odds of that happening is honestly decently high. I think the question today is, will CV Max outdraft CV Max? Will Pyosik outjungle Pyosik? And you know, it's great as a team, and the reason I'm hyped for DRX is these are some good problems to have. If the reason why you're losing a couple of games is because you're the one, you know, outdrafting yourself or stumbling and falling after gaining an advantage as Pyosik. These are things, you know, when you prepare for DRX, are you kind of hoping that they're gonna, you know, do a shit draft? That was kind of, you know, a part of the variable. I tried to throw curveballs at them. Like our preparation into DRX was like, we're gonna do a lot of flex picks. We're going to force them into this choke point where they are so centered on picking good matchups that they will lose the plot of the game. And this was the big idea when we were facing DRX, because they are so centered around making sure that they have good matchups. But even this piece of information sometimes is untrue, because in some specific weeks they're like, well, we're just going to pick Camille no matter what, and then Corky, and this is what we're going to draft for that week. You know, it was very, very unique DRX's approach to the regular season. People want to talk bad about Doran and Pyosik, but I think in the context of this group, outside of their matchup against Top Esports, I think these players are still better than their counterparts. I think Pyosik is better than Santorin. Ananasik is pretty decent, but I think that's like, you know, still going to be good for Pyosik. Same for Doran. I think Doran can do well into boss. I think Doran can do well into solo, no problem. So I'm not worried about these pieces. I think in the context of DRX and where people talk about DRX in regards to these players is always, can they win the World Championship? And in that conversation, I can agree that Doran and Pyosik might be a weakness, but then again, you know, these are players that can grow within the tournament for sure. These are guys with very limited experience, and maybe when they're exposed to the World Championship, maybe they're going to become even better. It's also maybe a lot of pressure on Doran, because last year it was the whole debacle about Sword, and if Doran does poorly at this tournament, then all that hype around him being the bench of Sword might die out. But Sword set a very, very low bar, let's be honest. Unicorns of Love, Moscow 5 vibes, of course, and I think when they did their run, not a lot of people believed in them either, but they figured it out. They played their own way, and they were ahead of the curve on many concepts within the game. So let's see if Unicorns of Love can pull it through. DRX heavy favorite, similar to last game, but DRX is definitely a team that can shoot themselves in the foot many, many times. We'll just have to see how it pans out. Freak, what are you telling us, Freak?
Now, regardless, it's an exciting battle here between a team that has finally
Kobe's not here.
Two worlds. They have failed so many times in the play-in stage. You think back to about a year ago at the MSI play-ins, you had the same 5 players in Unicorns of Love back when they were Vega Squadron, and they lost 2-3 to Fengvu Buffalo. Then you see them at Worlds just
Kobe's back.
And
this is some production right here.
Just barely.
What's going on?
But now they are here, Unicorns of Love, this 5-man roster.
There we go. Kobe's back.
And they are against a tough opponent.
Kobe's back. Good speech, Freak. I really like Freak's new style of casting. I think what I saw him doing over in North America, like he was calling out bullshit. That's something that I appreciate, because I think psychologically you want to come down harder on North America, I assume the community, because it was almost as if the casters were shielding them. But now I heard many times Freak is saying like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? What the fuck? You know? Well, he didn't exactly say this, but to some degree he said it. So we are wearing our LCK cap, so we have a hat for each major region. We have an NA hat, we have an EU hat, and we have a Korea hat. We need to think of what hat we're going to use for China, but I don't think they need any additional boosts. Anyhow, we jump into draft. Let me just move my camera. Caitlyn ban on blue side. Yeah, you can see that the Caitlyn bans are starting to show up in planes. We didn't see it too much, but the level of AD carries is definitely a lot higher at this leg of the tournament. Sorry, I just needed to speak to my thumbnail man to ask for some thumbnails for all the uploads that we're going to do. Blue side Lucian ban, Swain ban on red. Some crazy ass hair colors from DRX. Did he just colored his hair pink in preparation for this match? That is wild. Syndra ban on red. Okay, against No Man's. Interesting. I don't know if I agree too much. Orianna is going to be, you know, the high prio pick for a lot of these play-in teams. I wonder. So Korea has pink hair. CV Max looking fucking fire, man. CV Max looking sexy. We like how CV Max is looking right now. Usually he was wearing the sweats, you know, the DRX sweats, and now he's looking like, you know, some crispy. He's looking crispy. There we go, crispy. Korea with the pink hair. Was it purple, pink, something like that? Silas ban. Chovy special. Silas ban. Maybe they're looking for Orianna first pick. A lot of jungles are open here now, so you have the option of waiting till later. Renekton Nidalee. We have to see how that pans out also in the interaction, because Nidalee is open, so this forces a Nidalee first on Pyosik's side. If we continue with the same nature as always, so maybe we have like a Nidalee Camille situation here, Nidalee Camille. Chovy is a great set too, that's something we have to remember, but I think looking to 5th pick mid is the best, because Chovy's champion pool is an ocean. An ocean. I think Ashe had a shit win ratio in play-ins. I think Ashe requires a lot of finesse to play well. It's a very, very lane-oriented champion, and you need to really punish most lanes. Honestly, look at this suit. You need to fix up your tie though, CV Max, but the suit looks very nice. There's the Nidalee. Nothing surprising. We have to see what they match it with. Probably a set third could be the option. Now, probably Evelynn could be good. I think Evelynn Renekton is better than Evelynn Lilia. But we'll have to wait and see. Ananasik, Lilia or Evelynn? Pick your poison, son. Pick your poison. Unless you're going Graves. If he's going Graves, then we can almost instantly assume, like if they go like Graves and Ziggs. There's the Evelynn. What's the mid lane choice, No Man's? I hope you have some AD for us. Tristana? Oh, Tristana. But you can't blind pick Tristana. Tristana blind pick might be dangerous. But Silas is out. I think Tristana's fine into Silas. Because now if you don't pick Tristana here, Tristana's going to get banned full 5. You already showed that you play Tristana. There's the Jhin. Sipping on Jhin and Juice. So we might be in a world where Evelynn is matched up with an AP mid. Okay, Ornn. I think Ornn is honestly a very safe way to approach this. Very, very safe way. I think an Ornn lock-in here just increases DRX's win ratios but by so much. Ornn very durable against the enemy team, good against Jhin, good against Evelynn, can't get sniped. But of course Renekton and Evelynn can do some damage, right? So we have to pay attention to how Doran reacts to that pressure. Nidalee and Ornn 2v2 can work, but I would favor Evelynn and Renekton. The ease of execution is just heavily on their side. Irelia ban. Braum ban for the Ornn. Maybe Orianna ban here could be good. I think removing Orianna, I think the options for blind picks become pretty slim, and then your 5th pick mid, and then you can look to 4th pick. Oh, Karma. What does Karma ban mean? I thought maybe you just go for Leona 4th pick or something like this, and and then you 5th pick mid, and then you're happy with an Orianna ban. We just have to wait and see what they actually pick into Orianna. But for sure, DRX should 5th pick the mid. Aurelia ban, Jace ban. They're just removing AD options. Oh, Pantheon is in. Forgetting about Pantheon. Let's see now, Santas. Can you play Gragas? Because Gragas is the choice here if enemy goes Pantheon. Pantheon can still go mid, right? Definitely can still go mid. Pyosik Nidalee is nothing that you can brush off easily. Let's see how good Korea is on Pantheon. Because Korea is good lane phase, but I think in terms of impacting mid, there are better supports. Which is, you know, no shame in that. No shame at all. This is, of course, you know, the World Championship. Santas maybe goes for Thresh. Gragas would be nice. There's the Orianna. I'm curious what Chovy has in store for us as the counter. Maybe he's going for Akali. Could play Akali here, but there's a lot of magic damage already. Maybe just locks in Set, honestly. Set wouldn't surprise me at all. Just Set lock in, Set Nidalee very good. And there you go. You're not fooling anyone, just lock in the Thresh, Santas. Alistar. Dangerous. I like Tam as well. Tam is alright, but Tam is not that good against Ornn. There's no ideal support here, if I'm gonna be honest. Into the 4 champions that enemy chose. I really like the color aesthetic that red side has going on for it. You know, everything's kind of purple on blue side, but red side has like this rainbow coalition of magic, and that's the Set. Just look at the fucking abs on the 4-5 picks, you know, just fucking Set, boof, abs, and then boof, Pantheon, abs, boof. How are you gonna deal with that? Here, honestly, scaling isn't that one-dimensional. I think both compositions are very polarizing in a way where if red side is ahead, no one's gonna die. Like Set's not gonna die, Ornn's not gonna die, and their base numbers are gonna carry the fights. Because Jhin is naturally very bad at killing tanks. If blue side gets ahead, then Renekton is going to not die either, and the fact that red side has a couple of tanks is going to hurt them. I think early game wise, Evelynn Renekton is what we need to pay attention to, and then Set Nidalee need to take over mid and pressure into top side. And you know, on this channel, we love it when teams, of course, pressure through mid. Pressuring through mid is just the best. Minions spawn, minions crash the quickest. Did you just point at him? What on earth was that, man? What did Sheepy just do? You know, always when I face DRX in the LCK, every match, when we were done drafting, me and Chovy, me and CV Max, we just smile at each other, you know? I don't know why. I assume both of us have like read the memes about me being blue-eyed CV Max and the whole thing, but it was very endearing. Like CV Max is very charming as a person. I have a lot of respect for CV Max. I added an extra feature because I'm not going to do any of these videos live. If anyone wants to support the channel, you can still subscribe to my Twitch. You can still subscribe to you can still donate to the channel, and everything will be shouted out at the end of any review if you want to support it. I was asked multiple times how to support the channel, but it's not necessary at all. You know, I have food, I have a roof over my head, I have internet, I'm happy. You can find more clever ways of using your money, so please don't feel inclined. I am just happy to look at these games and share it with people that have an equal love for the game. So really, it's not necessary. Let's just pump up the quality. Boom. So 2v2 top is the name of the game. Bot lane honestly doesn't matter. The tricky thing though, when you pick Alistar, Pantheon can cause so much damage. And I think the fact that no man's running TP, I'm ready to put money on the fact that he's gonna die first blood. Who's taking that bet? Who's taking the bet? I have this coin here. Who wants to bet this coin? Go down in the comments and accept the bet before you fast forward in this video. I'm fair. I'm watching this live. So I'm watching this live. This is live reaction. Gadget's gonna, Noman's gonna die first blood. Ooh, close. Very, very close. Interesting warding pattern here. DRX using 3 wards level 1 already. Now the reason why set mid works so well is because his passive makes him so durable, and he can just contest Prio, very strong 2v2, and his itemization choices are very straightforward. Together with Doran Shield, he just straight up, can tank a lot of the damage that AP mages do. If you think of Zoe, she has a lot of poke damage. She can never really burst. The likes of a set. It's very durable, and Zoe kind of runs out of mana before you kill a set. So it's been used as a very common denial. When I say denial, it's not like that it's a hard counter per se, like you're not gonna like stomp your matchup, but it's a denial in a way that Zoe can't really do what she wants to do in the game. She wants to use her prio and get ahead. And Anasik here, interesting that that Gadget is sitting on a sweeper as a start. He warded level 1 and then he went back for the sweeper. That's interesting. Matchup wise, bot lane is very hard early, very hard. Like Ashe and Pantheon is one of the strongest bot lanes, level 1, 2, 3, and Alistar, Jhin can't really do anything to contest, because honestly you lose summoners level 1 if you allow it. And Ozzy went for a very strange pathing, blue into red into golems, but at least with this pathing, I think the reason for this pathing is that you want to end on top side. So you want to do kind of a full clear and you want to kill your golems early, but you want to end on top side. So here, very good from Pyosik to invade and push Nasik out, because he wants to pressure bottom dive. Now when Evelyn is completely out, Pyosik really dominating the game. Set is already moving down. Pantheon level 3, this is a very easy dive. Dev should be hitting the minions already, because Set is wasting time. I think DRX maybe mismanaged the wave a little bit, because I think this was the time of the season where all the ice and snow would come down on Gadget and Santa's head. Of course, I can only speculate because I didn't see the state of the wave, but I think this is something definitely that you can coordinate better. I think DRX should have committed to this together with Nidalee, but Nidalee doesn't want to lose any tempi here. She just wants to continue clearing her jungle camps, which is also understandable. But Pantheon is so easy to dive with your W and then your E. You can tank turret shots, and then Nidalee just lands a spear on the W target. But there's some cleanse action that you can do. Alice can block the spear, and it's not as straightforward as I make it sound. So I understand, because Pyosik is still in a decent position. Boss went for probably a little cheater recall with the Doran's blade. It looks like he's behind in CS, but he has a big wave coming into him, and I think if he looks to freeze, it's going to be good. Good for Nanasik as well that he managed to grab the Raptors, but he should leave some behind to make sure the Nidalee falls behind. Good stuff, Unicorns of Love recovering from the shitty thing that just happened to Pyosik. I mean, a shitty thing that happened to Evelyn through Pyosik. Chovy still has his W. This was a silly flash, but it works, I guess. Boom. Anasik no flash too. Pyosik, that's not possible. You have Q cooldown. Okay. Alright, well, the flash that looked silly turned out to not be so silly, and I look silly now. The flash, I don't know if it was necessary, I'm not too sure, but at least Orianna was not in range to top him off, and Chovy actually got his W off, so maybe this was a difference maker. Now with Mercury mid purchased, the mid matchup is just doomed, bottom matchup is also doomed. I don't think you can ever get away with picking Alistar into Ashe and Pantheon. It's just too greedy. Even this, what they're doing now, farming bottom, is kind of greedy, but I think Unicorns will recognize that Orianna and Evelyn is on the right side of the map, and Sets behind on tempo here. He's going to walk forward, There's the E, he punches, uses Mercuries and fleet footwork. Thomas no flash. Santos has no flash either, we saw it in the little tiny replay on the bottom right. DRX very far ahead, and Pyosik very strong in this early game. And Pyosik very underrated as a player because of his very memorable silly moments. But even in the final against Canyon, he was out jungling him on many parts. Not necessarily because it was Canyon's fault, but Pyosik definitely used the opportunities that were given to him. And in this game, he's stronger than Evelyn on 3 and went from the invade, and that was super, super cool. And I think Alanasik was very mindful of this, and I think this is why he went for the jungle path that he did. You know, in hindsight, the blue into red into golems is something that you can easily agree with. And Alanasik could have walked away with just giving up the Raptors, but he face-checked Pyosik and lost a lot of his health. So very interesting how the dynamic of these two junglers is working so far, and it adds another layer, right? I was so focused on Evelyn Renekton, but I didn't really pay attention to how much damage a Nidalee can do to an Evelyn in the early levels. So that's very, very intriguing, and this is something that we're going to learn together on this channel throughout the tournament. Nidalee looking to punish Evelyn early levels before she's 6. That is nice. That's good stuff. Another thing that's nice for Nidalee is the fact that she can itemize Athenes, and that's something that Evelyn won't like at all. Santos has no flash. Might be the case that he's just dead here. Doesn't have 6 either, and yeah, the matchup is honestly kind of doomed. Chovy just chugging potions, passive and Doran shield. He's doing a lot of work. The fact that Doran has managed to stay ahead of Renekton when Evelyn is mostly in a position where the map is divided into top side is very impressive. If your wave is in a poor state here as Ornn, you should just walk away. Try to keep busy, try to check your own jungle, put down vision like on the Rift Herald that Doran just did. There's no reason to just be there and, you know, look at the enemy. You just give the enemy free information for absolutely nothing. A lot of cases I just see most players are just standing there looking at the wave, and they're just like waiting for their junglers. Like the jungler is a fucking bus or something. Just walk away. Get yourself busy. Because here, Ornn can check golems. Ornn can be looking into mid. Maybe he can Ornn Horn and kill the Orianna. There's many different things that he could do that are very interesting. Santa's still no flash. There's the stun, gadget cleanse, absolutely nothing. But you know, he was just scared. And the game should be over. The game should be completely over. Doran is in a great position. Maybe even here Doran can look to ult the Evelyn, but there's no need for it, you know. Doran can just play it cool. You could argue against this play, you know, to go into bottom side for this gang because you're giving up the Rift Herald. Especially because Orianna had no flash, and with the Mercury, like the boots advantage was a heavy movement speed advantage for Chovy. He could definitely connect with Orianna, and they can easily pressure mid into top side and give up absolutely nothing. So I think even though they killed Alistar, bottom matchup is already in such a tough position that I think you can ignore and look into playing through mid into top. Nomas has flash on, so he can definitely react to this. But the dive can get easy. I think here if Korea went on Ali, they can actually one-shot him. Like Nidalee legit one-shots Alistar here with the W of Pantheon. So I think that's them just not paying attention. Because they see him face-checking the bush, right? Because of the pink ward. But I like DRX's clarity of how they want to proceed in this early game. They just mid into bottom side, take full control of the enemy bot side. Unicorns Love are aware. They're trying to survive the best they can on bottom. They're walking away from dives and so forth. And Evelyn tried to cross map, but Ornn is in such a good position. I think it's a bit too greedy and too late for Renekton to go for Blade. Like, he's not going to have any impact. Like now, Ornn, Sunfire Cape into these items, and then Bramble Vest, he's just going to be very, very winning in top. Swap could be interesting, considering Orianna, you know, would lane into someone that has a full armor and Seth has full MR. I kind of like the idea. Very, very nice idea here from Unicorns of Love. Because Renekton is going to shit on Seth now with these items. So this is a very neat adaptation. Unicorns of Love still in a game where they are heavily on the back foot. They are showing some ingenuity. So I like that move a lot. Sedge is trying to match again. Ornn is now in river. And Ornn is going up against Renekton. Renekton can push and then go continue. They should just keep looking for the mismatch. Nidalee monster ahead. Nidalee being this ahead just means that she is going to easily, you know, just win any 2v2, win any 3v3 that is on the map. I don't like that Pyosik is probably going for a Lich Bane in this position. I doubt he's buying Ardent already. Oh, this is a bit wild. This is a bit too much, but Gadget has no damage. Like, the man has a pickaxe. Pantheon straight up one-shotted Evelyn by himself. Look at this. Look at Pantheon. Look at Pantheon. Oh, it's arrow as well. Okay. Pantheon is not balanced. Okay, Doran. Okay, Doran. Yeah, Pantheon is not balanced, by the way. Strongest lane phase. Strong ult. Good 2v2. Good 3v3. Good 4v4. Good dive. You need to play Gragas. You need to pick Gragas against Pantheon. I'm telling you guys, that's the dark technology. Okay, Chovy, punching away. Absolutely no damage. That is the flip. Chovy, what the fuck are you doing, bruv? There's no reason for this. And you flash too? Jesus, Chovy. Jesus, Chovy. Chovy, what you smoking there, son? What on earth was this? Jesus. Unicorns of Love. You know, still, even though they're getting completely massacred, they are making some smart decisions here. I'll give them that, you know. They're cross-mapping, they're trying to, you know, play on the other side of the map, but they're getting hit like a truck. And DRX are actually throwing a little bit here. Doran, next one, go into the meat grinder. Give them some more advantages. Why not? Okay, Unicorns of Love. A big gold swing in their favor. This is the first tower. They get 2 kills. They get a shutdown onto the Pantheon, and it's nothing too, you know, nothing too shabby. DRX, like Seth, just needed to keep calm. This is what you need to deal with as a top laner, Chovy. And Chovy had this whole conversation about he wants to become a top laner, but you know, need to do that better. We don't like this Lich Bane on Nidalee. Don't like. I think Athene's is the easy purchase, but Pyosik is feeling frisky. At least I like Lich Bane more than I like Rod of Ages. I'll be willing to say that. I think Ardent Sensor is unbelievably OP on AD carries that buy Hurricane, because Ardent Sensor is an on-hit effect, right? And your Hurricane applies Ardent 3 times. It's very, very powerful. Another thing why Athene's is so good is your jungle item actually gives you mana regen based off of your missing mana, and that gives you a lot of AP while you're fighting in the jungle. But the condition is that you need to fight in the jungle, because you don't get this mana regen buff if you're in the lane, because they want to stop people from purchasing, of course. They don't want anyone to buy like jungle items and lane with them. The name of the game for UOL is still make the play where Nidalee is not. And that makes the game so goddamn predictable, right? Very, very predictable game. Here's the Herald for the mid tower. Easy peasy. Doran can just ult. Nomans might have to flash. Massacre. Game should be completely over. But yeah, maybe DRX throw like they did. Maybe they need to do that 4 or 5 times, and then Unicorns Above can win. Yeah. Yep. Ananasik getting one-shotted by the support. Now, of course, Ash did some autos, but I'm a big fan of Pantheon. Okay, Nidalee with the Lich Bane, doing some work. Ooh, oh, very close Renekton had Q up again. Very close. But these are not like good fights for DRX. Like they are doing some silly things. Unicorns Love are playing robust, while they'll be getting outmatched on like these small decisions. The major decisions they're making in this game are still very good. When I say big decisions, are like macro decisions, right? The micro decisions is where DRX gained a lot of their advantages through the lane phase of Pantheon Ashe. Pyosik is jungling against Ananasik. But in terms of macro decisions, they are very aware of what they need to do. I like what I see from Unicorns of Love, even in the game that is so far behind. You see a couple of fights like this, and then all of a sudden, you know, that funneled gold onto the right person might become problematic. But yeah, we're far from things being over. Godlike now with the Lich Bane. Sorry, we are not far from things being over, but we are far from that massive comeback that Unicorns of Love are hoping for now. Because at this point, you know, if you're DRX and you want to play this out cleanly, recognize that one side of the map is the side that you're going to give up on, and then just push mid, take the whole jungle bottom side together with Nidalee Pantheon, go back into mid, push again, do the same into top side, and then just you know, make sure that you're moving like waves, you know. You're moving. It's very important that you move like waves, because when you hover into bottom side, your top needs to play different. When you hover into top side, Set needs to play different. And since Set doesn't have any TP, he needs to follow along with the wave. While Orange just needs to pay attention to the wave, meaning like the situation where his team plays into bottom side, can just play around his TP and relax. Gadget on IE. It's a miracle that he got there, considering the items he sat on. I wonder if Pyosik is just going to go for a Zhonya's Hourglass next. Set should finish Sunfire Cape, and that should be the first upgrade that the Doran should look for within his teammates. Get a lot of good statistical value off of Sunfire Cape. But it's rare you are finding yourself in a situation where Ornn is going to build a Sunfire Cape or Forge Fire Cape or whatever it's called. Boss has TP, and if Set is in isolation on top side, this could be a situation where Unicorns of Love look for a 4v5. Evelyn level 11, almost death cap. Void Staff finish on Orianna, because the whole Set situation. Unicorns of Love have 2 TPs, and now you can see the DRX are shifting the whole map position into top side towards Set side. Ornn has TP, you don't need to support him on that side of the map. There's the arrow. Deft is like Legolas on this Ashe, man. The Ashe players from the LCK and the LPL are on a complete different level in contrast to the European ones, because a lot of key reasons why I'm worried for Europe and the West in general coming into World Championships, because meta-wise I felt like they were behind in summer. No Ashe play, jungle play was also far behind, and this worried me, you know? Even top lane play was very far behind. Like, we had this moment in time where people were playing Set top and Sion top and Ornn top almost every single game. Ornn is a nice champion, you know, especially into Renekton, but all in all, not playing these champs like Pantheon as well, and, you know, some key support champions like Karma. Like, I just felt like maybe it's through the lens of my bias because I was working in the LCK during this time, but it was very weird for me to watch ADC and not so educational because all the games looked the same. It was all about Drakes, and it felt very, very low level in terms of drafting. This is probably the key reason why I'm worried. Deft Ashe is better than any European Ashe. Ruler Ashe, I don't think anyone comes close to Ruler Ashe when it comes to Europe and the West in general. Same thing can be said for Jakilov and Loken when we compare them to other ADs. Doran is 2 levels ahead of boss. Doran at this point should just go for Solari. Solari is a very, very big cock blocker when it comes to Evelynn and what she wants to do. Like, if she can't put anyone in one-shot range, she's honestly quite useless. Still, Doran's level 15 and there's only 1 item to upgrade. 2 items now with Zhonya's and Blade, but these items are not that efficient. So, sure they are good, but not so efficient in contrast to what some of the other things that you can do. Like, Chovy could have just finished his Sunfire Cape to get the Forge Fire Cape already, but he went for a Giant's Belt instead. And then, maybe with how strong Nidalee was, she could have potentially gone for a Death Cap. But Zhonya's is not a bad item against this team. Usually the best spots to buy Zhonya is when armor is neat, which is okay here against Renekton and Jhin, and also when you can get like a lot of value out of the stopwatch, for example, the Orianna ult or Evelynn ult. If you stopwatch these ultimates, you're going to be in for a good time, because obviously right now Unicorns Love are very, very reliant on them. We have Soul Point, and Lassie is trying to make something happen, but he is fighting against a Nidalee that has Mercury. And Nastic has Flash. Maybe he's gonna flash out, but that's towards the set. Yeah, this is very tough for Unicorns of Love. They're just too far behind. It's a 11k gold advantage. Unicorns Love made some smart moves, but so far in this tournament, it's gone as expected. You know, pound for pound, both LPL and the LCK are just way better, way better than some of the other teams of this tournament. And there is definitely a world where this is going to be the case for every single game that we see. I wanted to showcase something. You know, I'm going to be involved in. So basically, on LoL Esports, the chat that you just saw is basically this one. So I'm going to be here. I'm very happy that I'm involved in this. I knew everyone was going for Damwon, and I thought that picking JDG is a way for me to get ahead. Like, this is not a game of, you know, if you want to win this, you need to take some risks. Because I knew if I'm picking Damwon here, I'm going to be in a position where everyone has the same prediction as me, and there's no way for me to get ahead. So all in all, you know, it is what it is. I just thought that this was one of the closer matchups that, even though Damwon, I probably think Damwon is better, is a matchup that can go either way. Ocean Soul, I mean, not Ocean Soul, but Cloud Soul. I knew they would get it for free after Anasik died, so it's whatever, right? Still no Sunfire Cape, Zhonya's upgraded, Blade upgraded. This is very sad Ornn, if you think about Efficiency Kingdom. Black Cleaver will be an upgrade for Pantheon as well. What's Giga sad is Zhonya gets upgraded and Pyosik is going for Doran's next. I mean, not for Doran, for Deathcap. I just want this game to end so I can go to the toilet. I'm feeling the coffee. Coffee has done some work. So if you're curious about how you want to end the game like this, is you follow the same pattern. You know, you just follow the same pattern of pushing mid, playing into set side, isolating Ornn. Ornn will have TP up now. He's going for Warmogs, but I don't like it too much. Just Solari is such an OP item. I had to work so hard to convince Summit to buy Solari and OnFlick to buy Solari because my boys need to see things in action before they believed in it. But Solari is an unbelievably OP item if you know how to use it correctly. I've seen people buy Solari and use it very bad. Like just use Solari just to use Solari. You know those players that kind of just use their items because they have them instead of thinking about, oh, this is what Evelyn wants to accomplish, this is what Orianna wants to accomplish, this is my moment to shine. Like if you react to an Orianna ult with a Solari press, you won the game right there, man. Most of the time. It's a very, very valuable thing to do. Still no Sunfire Cape? Chovy, just get yourself a Sunfire Cape, man. That's a juicy item. Boom. Bob the Builder getting a Pantheon Black Cleaver now. Boss is out and about. Alistair's comboing in, but a cow saving a crocodile is very ironic. I've seen videos of crocodiles eating cows. It's kind of gruesome. Evelyn's going for the backline, but Malmortius is paying his dividend there. Boom. And that's game finish. Inspector Gadget. What are you hiding in your hat? Maybe we can get a Pyosik Penta. Pyosik is calling for Penta. Give me Penta! Give me Penta! Give me Penta! Let's dive! Let's dive! Can we dive? Give me the Penta! You have 5 seconds for the Penta. No Penta. They just told him to fuck off. No Penta for you, Pyosik. It would have been fun. Maybe Doran's getting Warmog Summer to get the juiciest fucking Solari on the planet. And there's the death cap, and this death cap is so sad being placed in the inventory next to this Zonia that's been upgraded by Ornn. Very, very sad. Yeah, good Nidalee player from Pyosik. Kind of weird camera movement, if I'm gonna be honest. Oh. You just know for sure that the broadcast team is gonna milk the shit out of this stat right here. But set CS really doesn't matter. But you just know for sure that a lot of people in the community are gonna be like, no man's had 100 CS. Like he did well. He did well this game. I'm gonna be honest. He did well. But DRX, I felt like they didn't play as precisely around what they needed to play around. But this CS, this doesn't mean that no man's completely dismantled Chovy. Really didn't mean that. This was just DRX with a stylistic choice, set playing in isolation, and no man's just farming away. You know, DRX definitely could have executed better, but Set is not a champion that you dominate yourself with. It's a champion that you picked for team play together with Nidalee, and that's it. Los Santas. And that's a 14k gold lead, 30-minute game. That's a decent number. Doran, let's go. Get that value for yourself. Boom. Builds a ruby crystal. Warmog's armor popping off. Boom. Warmog's armor so OP. Look at Doran regening HP. Imagine you had Solari right there, man. You could have saved your bro. Boom. Alright, that's game number 2, guys. Thank you so much. This has been very fun. Worlds is underway. Let me know what you think about this review. If you sneeze during this video, bless you and bless your face. I really need to run to the bathroom. I'm having the coffee. Yeah, you can figure it out.